In this video, I'm going to show you the performance of the Mafia 3 game after the new patch, which has unlocked the 60 FPS and the unlimited frames per second. At the moment, I'm recording the gameplay in the background, so you might see the couple of FPS has been dropped, but while playing the game without recording, I have seen the game actually varies between the 40 FPS and 45 FPS. That's on 4K with everything on max, even the anti-aliasing and everything at all. The anti-aliasing does not affect the performance and the frame rates stays pretty much the same whether you turn it on or off. Anyways, I prefer the anti-aliasing on because in 4K the game is not as blurry as in lower resolutions, so people are turning anti-aliasing off because it will make the game less blurry, but in 4K it is already less blurry, so no need to turn off the anti-aliasing. So as you can see, the performance remains between the 40 and 46 FPS. And you might have seen 39 FPS here and there, but as I said earlier, now I'm recording the gameplay in the background, so it actually loses a couple of FPS because of that recording. Let's go to the main city and check out the crowded area and see what are the frame rates there. Since this is a less crowded area, so it is showing more FPS at the moment, and you have seen above 50 frames per second as well. This game actually does rely on the CPU as well along with the GPU, and especially the systems with multi-core CPUs will perform little bit better, although they have same GPU. So even the crowded area, you can see the FPS remains pretty much similar, which is between 40 to 45 frames per second. So at the moment, as you can see, the frame rates are around 45 to 46 frames per second, and let's try to change the setting and get close to 60 FPS as much as I can, and let me show you which settings actually works. Most of the settings does not impact on the frames per second. I have found only two settings are useful: reduce the reflection quality and the volumetric effects. And now right away, as you can see, you have jumped to 58-59 FPS, which is pretty good, but still it is not close to 60 FPS. But let me show you, although the anti-aliasing is on, but even turning the anti-aliasing does not affect at all. And let me turn it off and let me show you the frames per second. At the moment, I have put it on low, and since I cannot turn it off, and as you can see, there is no effect on the frames per second, remains pretty much the same. However, there is one more setting which will affect the frames per second. Go to the FPS and instead of 60, use the unlimited, and right away the frames per second will become 60 frames per second. Boom, here you go. As you can see, now it is hovering around 60 FPS, so pretty much close to 60 FPS, and it will stay the same even in the crowded areas. It might drop a frame or two here and there, but mostly it will remain the same even in the crowded areas. Only when you have an accident or you hit somebody or some car, it will drop little bit. It will drop somewhere around 4 or 5 FPS. Otherwise it will remain pretty much close to 58, 59 and 60 FPS, mostly 60, but at times it does drop a frame or two here and there depending upon the area where you are driving. So let's go back to the city and let's check out what are the frame rates there. I don't care about the reflections because those reflections does not add much to the game, since I feel the reflections are a little bit too harsh. And now what I see in the low settings, the reflections are much more natural and I kinda like them more. However, the volumetric effects, which are basically the lighting effects, I'm gonna miss those. This is disappointing really, because the game does not appear to be that intensive graphically, so it should not affect the performance that much. I really hope and wish they will fix the performance issues in the future updates. So I'm back in the city, and as you can see, the frame rates are still pretty good and holding up really well. And only when you hit somebody you will lose the frames per second, as you can see over here. Let me give you some more examples. Here you can see once again. Performance that I'm currently getting and the graphics that I currently see on the screen, I can live with that for time being, and hopefully it will be fixed in the future. So guys, this was the comprehensive review of the performance of this game in 4K. And if you like to see the performance of this game in 1440p, do let me know and I will prepare a video in 1440p as well and show you the frame rates of this game on Titan X Pascal in 1440p. Take care, see you, bye.